Hey, Deborah, guess what time it is?
I think it's Thursday and it must be time to take a breath. Thank you. Thank you.
It is. And thank you, ladies, for your patience. We are 30 minutes behind schedule, and it's my fault. I am at conference for some new things that are going to come down the road. And so I had to change our timing today, but I am so glad you're here with us. So we know what that means. Let's stop. Let's take a breath. Let's chat a while, maybe learn something, and just spend some time and hang out. How's that sound?
Hey, Wendy, I'm ready for it. And I'm just really looking forward just to stopping for a minute, really, and just kind of putting aside. I've been working on some things and I just need to rest my brain for a little bit. And so I'm really glad we get a chance to stop here and have a chance to talk with these ladies.
Oh, absolutely. So for those ladies who are joining us for the first time, we come together and hang out for 30 minutes. But we here at Nehemiah Project, we provide clarity so that you can focus on building a sustainable business, create margin in your life, and impact those around you. You know, Deborah, last week I was at a networking event. And there was someone at the table, and they spent like 5 minutes telling me all about their business. And at the end, when they paused and took a breath, I thought, I wonder what they do. I still didn't know. Have you ever had that experience? Because I really felt bad because I didn't feel like I understood what they did, and I wanted to help.
Well, okay, Wendy, I have to tell you, I think I was one of those people at one time. When I first started my training and consulting business, I had all these tools and things to help people, and I was so excited about them. And I would just sort of tell everybody, every potential client, excuse me, about all these tools and the fabulous things that they could do. And at the end, my clients probably looked like you did, kind of going, I don't know what you do, and I don't know how you help me. I don't know what problem you solve. It took me a long time to learn that lesson.
You know, that's so true. But I tell you, I'd be guilty of that as early as about 3 weeks ago, before my training with Joe Peachy, and I walked away going, oh my stars, I've become that person. How do they even know what I do and how I can help them? But I think all businesses really struggle with this at the beginning, sometimes in the middle as well. We just try to complicate it all, or we get so excited that we just want to share it all. And sometimes it's just as simple as we clean so you don't have to. That was my value proposition for my cleaning company. We clean so you don't have. It was that simple. And that's what we've kind of got to do. We so the other part of this is that when we don't have this clear value proposition, then we're struggle telling our story. Oh, and even selling our products. Now, I don't know about you ladies. I don't know if you problem or struggling with trying to figure out what is your value proposition.
Well, what really happens is that the customer feels like we're selling them, we're not helping them, and they don't feel like they've been heard. And really what they're asking and seeking is just a solution to fix their problem. And it took a lot for my business. It took a long time for me to recognize that the tools, they didn't care about the tools. They just wanted to know that I was going to help them. It took me, before I figured out that I helped to build customer and employee loyalty, that they went, oh, that's what I want. I need more. I need my customers to stay longer, and I need my employees to not go through a revolving door. And only when they knew I could fix that did they care about how I could do it. So today we're going to be talking about 3 tips that you've learned around this. So I'm excited about helping our ladies think more about their value proposition.
Well, first, let's define what a value proposition is. A value proposition is a simple statement. I think we need to underline and bold that, a simple statement that summarizes what a customer would choose, why a customer would choose your product or service. What's different about what you provide that has value?
Boy, if that's, and when you say yours about cleaning so you don't have to, I don't know about you, but well, you probably knew this because I would probably been running up there saying, yes, please come and clean for me because I don't want to.
Exactly. So as we, that's an area that I've really kind of struggled because at Nehemiah Project, as you know, we offer so much there. It's not a one size fits all. Every entrepreneur is in different stages and we can serve them in so many areas. That's why when we began to develop our value proposition, we provide clarity so that they can understand all of the aspects about their purpose or their business, right? And so as you are doing this, every value proposition should speak to the client's challenge. What's my challenge as a business owner? Figuring it out, understanding. I don't understand what I don't understand, right? I need clarity to understand my financials. So you want to make the case for your company as the problem solver, right? Because if you don't solve my problem, and my problem is the only thing I can see, it's what I eat, sleep, and drink all day long, then I'm not going to see the value in working with you.
Well, and really, Wendy, what you're talking about, it really should highlight this value proposition, should highlight what makes you different from competitors, but also focusing on how customers would look or define the value that you bring to them. Because if they can't figure out the value, then they don't have a reason to spend their money or to bring you into their company.
Absolutely. So today we wanted to bring to you three things that you need to know. And I was going to say you want to know, but I think you need to know in order to write your value proposition. So the other part is your value proposition should be simple enough and that you can repeat it over and over because you know it, because it feels right for you as well. So let's talk about three things that you need to know. The first one is relevancy. See, you have to explain how your product solves your customer. But before that, you have to know who is your customer. What does your customer want? What are their emotional drivers? What are their needs? Those are the rational motivators. And what are their fears? That's the things that they don't want to happen, the thing that they're afraid of. Because remember, even when a customer is making a purchasing or an investment, they still are going to be guided by their emotions. Mm-hmm. So you have to understand whether your product or service affects a customer's perceived likelihood of failure or their anxiety or their reputation at work. Again, what problem do you solve? Is it relevant to me, not to you? Right? Mm-hmm. I need you, Deborah, to tell me how Nehemiah Project is relevant to me and what God has placed in my life and my purpose.
Mm-hmm. Wow, Wendy, that's really powerful. And, again, it comes back to not selling. It is about listening and solving problems. And when we get into that sell mode of here's my product, buy my product, this, it's all about me, then customers are turned off from that. And we don't do it often consciously, but that's the kind of the end result if we don't understand what that value proposition is. Well, the second talking point that we had today was about a quantified value, delivering specific results. So, what will I get from your product or service? And is there something that I can see? What kind of metrics or dollars or numbers am I going to get as a result of buying from you? And so, this is really about identifying the customer's main problem. So one of the products that we talked about, Wendy, or as you talked about in the beginning in our value statement, had to do with focusing on a sustainable business. And sustainable business usually has to do with revenue, probably has something to do with number of sales, looking at your margins and so forth. And so being able to identify what those are from the customer standpoint, and sometimes that requires asking a few questions. What is the customer looking for? What are their specifics? And oftentimes I find that customers are not always able to articulate it. They just know something's not working. They don't have as much cash flow, or they don't have as much inventory, or they have another kind of problem. And it's really important to get them to talk about it so that you can zero in on what it is, and then connecting your value to that customer's problem.
Absolutely. One of the things that I think a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people who are getting ready to start a business, they're like, I'm not a salesperson. I don't like to sell, right? And they come into this thinking of, I think they're not thinking customer centric, right? So they're thinking of, every bad cartoon character of a salesperson, right? They're thinking of every bad stereotype. But instead, when you change it around and become customer focused and serving a customer and meeting a need, it's not a bad word. It's what God's called you to do, to serve them, right? And so I think too, if you would have asked me when I had my cleaning company if I was a salesperson, I would have laughed at you. I would have said, of course I'm not a salesperson. I don't do sales. I'm the owner. I go out and give quotes. I would have never put the two and two together, because I was always focused on the customer, and knowing that if my company came out and cleaned their house, I gave them the gift of time to spend with their children or do something they were called to do. So the question remains is, what do you know in your heart, in your soul, that if they do business with you, the benefit that they're going to get? What are you providing for them that is so important and special? If they do business with you, they walk away better than you found them. When we begin to look at it that way, that's not selling either. That's
it's not
helping.
Oh, it is helping. Sorry, Wendy, I didn't mean to. I got excited. One of my first jobs that I had was because I never thought of myself as a salesperson either, and getting over that stereotype is very difficult to do. But one of my first jobs that I had as a young adult was working at a savings and loan, and the atmosphere, the culture of that particular business was for us to listen to what the customer needs were, and then be able to offer them a product that satisfied them. And so it was never about selling. It was about, here's how we can help you to save money for your house, or this is how we can help you to reach that financial goal that you have. And this savings loan had a really good reputation in the community because it was, just as you said, about helping the client and not selling the client. And so when we can make that mind shift, it's much easier to present our product or service out there in the marketplace.
Absolutely, because we are selling every single day. We are presenting and offering ourselves up every single day. whether it's through friendship or through our products or services, there's, our goal is to serve and to walk that out. So, I just, I really love this, that quantifiable value. So I want to kind of step back to that one. So quantifiable value, you do have to quantify it. And I know you said that, but let's talk about that just a second. So what at the end of the day, how am I going to measure what they get? When my company cleaned the house, I knew I gave them the gift of time. You got the 4 to 6 hours it would take you to clean your house on the weekend back. It was quantifiable. And I knew that. So in your business, ladies, do you know the metrics? Do you know the measurables, right? Things that we do, Deborah and I both are business coaches. And so we coach entrepreneurs. And one of the things that we look at are their financials, right? And helping them make those decisions. So a quantifiable measurement is that they can improve their cash flow and revenue generation. Now, we probably need to give some metrics and maybe do an average of what they've saved. But I know when my clients work on their financials and understand them and are looking at them every day and paying attention and making decisions, viably, yes, they do have more margin, right? So how are you going to quantify the benefits of what you do in your business?
Excellent.
I guess I'm
Are you ready to move to number 3?
I'm ready. Let's go to number 3. And that is, how are you different? Tell the ideal customer why they should buy from you and not your competition. There are a lot of programs available to teach you how to build a business plan. But we teach you how to build a business God's way, how to merge your work and work. Those are benefits. And we've got a proven system in this for 22 years? Nehemiah's been around almost?
Yeah, that's right. Well, and there's other ways as well, because one of the programs, Wendy, that we work with, Identity and Destiny, is at the end of that program. What makes us different is that you understand how your purpose statement, but also what your mosaic looks like, and how what your sweet spot is that God has created just for you, and how to operate within that. And I know that it isn't a number, but there is that intangible benefit that tells us different than our competition does, that we can walk away from that. And really, for me, my statement around this is being able to align the faith, family, and work so that we can live on purpose and in our sweet spot. And that is a differentiation, I think, than other self-help programs and others that we have. So you have to dig for it. You have to think about it. And what is it that people receive and differently from you than what your competition is?
And that means you have to be intentional about this process. Here's the thing. You have to take the time to do this, to think through this process. And I think sometimes we get, well, again, I don't know about you ladies. For me, sometimes I get so busy in the doing, I don't take a moment to think these things. Your value proposition is just one of them, right? Your mission, your vision, your core values. Having all of that thought out is going to help you build that sustainable business, creating margin and impact as you've thought through it. So if you've not taken the time, I am going to encourage you to take a little bit of time, pause, and think through this. Benefit of having a clear value proposition, clear benefits, is going to increase your revenue easily by 25%. easily because now you're customer centric, you're listening, you're asking questions, and you're trying to help solve their problem. So I think that makes a big difference. I know it has for me, and being intentional about it, I think is a huge part of that as well.
Well, Wendy, we've been talking for several weeks about investing in yourself and investing in your business. And that is part of it, taking time to understand your business and, in this case, your value proposition and what makes you different. But also, other kinds of classes and events that may be coming up. And so it's important for us to invest back into us so that we can then grow our business. It is not just keep driving ahead, because we may spend more money or lose time and effectiveness without stopping and taking a look and really doing the intellectual part of running your business. It's really what they talk about, being working on your business and not in your business. And being able to do that portion of it is so important to do. We know that when even though we talk together often, almost every day, but when we're together, the juices start to flow, the things start happening, and we start seeing business in a different way and how we can serve differently as well.
Oh, absolutely. So, if this is something that you struggle with, ladies, link arms, right? Connect with the women in the network. If you're part of the e-community, go and put on a forum. Here's what I've come up with my proposition. What do you think, right? If you're struggling with it, that's what a business coach can really help you work through as well. I know that I had to do that with my businesses. I had to just pause. I literally had to pause. I remember when I was working on my business plan, and I told my family, I said, I'm going to go check into this hotel, and I'll be back when I'm done. And if it takes a day or 2 days, I'll be back when I'm done. And I took my laptop and I took my printer and I took, some food with me. But I had to stop and really think through. And the changes that happened in my business once I did that were exponentially happening after that. So you may need to stop and pause. If you struggle, a coach. If you're a diamond member of the e-community, you get 30 minutes of coaching every month. Schedule that time to review that with a business coach. Get somebody else's eyes on it, right? Because I know that that's helped me when I'm working on these kind of things to go, okay, this is how I see it from my communication style, right? Through my lens. And that's why, Deborah, it's so helpful when we link arms and we combine to do this.
Well, really, and that's the value of a coach, is because they're not, unlike your family, your friends, your colleagues, or even your employees. They all see it from a different lens because they have, they have a stake in the game. A coach, their only stake in the game is that they want to see you succeed, and so they can tell you the hard truth. They can have you focus in on what reality is, and challenge you to make decisions that may be tough to make, but they're the right ones to make, so that you aren't continuing doing the same thing and getting the same results. And so, although it looks like it's an investment in your company, it really is helping your company to grow. It's helping you to grow as an individual. It's sort of that guide and best friend all wrapped into one, that says, we're going to keep you accountable to the goals that you have, but they're also going to be telling you the truth, and they're your cheerleader on the sidelines, helping you to grow and move towards those goals that you want to achieve. So as Wendy said, 30 minutes, if you're a diamond member, if you're not a diamond member, become one. It's very easy to do. You can go to Nehemiah ecommunity.com and sign up for the eCommunity for a diamond member, and then sign up immediately for your 30-minute coaching, and just experience what that is and see what kind of results that you get out of that experience.
Absolutely. Well, I feel like it's been pretty heavy. Today, I don't, but it does feel like we have just um, gone pretty deep. So let's go to scripture and let's go and come back to what God says about this.
All right. Well, I picked out a few scriptures for us to think about. In Genesis 41:57, the people of all the earth came to Egypt to buy grain from Joseph because the famine was severe in all the earth. Joseph had what the people needed. He had
Right.
prepared and stored up, and the people came to buy from him. And so he had his price. And if you read through that in Genesis, you can see a great example of buying and selling.
Absolutely. Well, our second scripture for you today is Leviticus 19:35 through 36. You shall do no wrong in judgment, in measurement of weight or capacity. You shall have just balances, just weights, and a just empath. I think correctly. And in a just hand, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt. This is a great scripture about integrity and being honest and doing this God's way, the right way, because you're there to. So Deborah, you want to share the last one?
Okay, I'm going to do Proverbs 14:15. Is that the one that you're at?
Yep.
Okay, because I kind of lost you for a minute. The simple believe everything, but the prudent gives thought to his steps. Okay, my favorite word is prudent. I've talked about it in many different ways, and I love how this tells us to give thought to our steps. And that means stand back, examine, are you getting the results that you want from your sales process? If not, stand back and take a look at it. How can you make it better? What are some tips that you can take away, what we've talked about, that you can apply to your business? And if you need help, then ask for it. There's a number of places in which you can do that.
Well, we generally give you 3, but I'm going to give you a 4th one because I think this is just really powerful and important. And that's Mark 8:36. For what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and forfeit his soul? And, your value proposition and how you're going to serve your clients, it's not with anything if you're just taking money, but serving is going to be everything.
Exactly right, Wendy. Wow. Well, then we talked a lot about a lot of things here today. And as you said, it was probably not as light as we've been in the past, but, I think that it's important for our ladies to have some tools that they can see some increase within their businesses, because we know that this is, we all have dreams and hopes and desires. The Lord has asked us to steward these businesses, and how can we continue to be better stewards from that? And so, we always leave with a strong verse at the end, and I'm just really happy to share it today. Look to the Lord and His strength, and seek His face always. That's from 1 Chronicles 16:11. And this is the person who can make the difference in your business. Seek after Him, and He'll give you those answers as well. Well, Wendy, I love this topic today, and this was great. It's been a good 30 minutes. I can't wait to hear about your experience at the conference, and we can be catching up with everyone next week.
Absolutely. Have a blessed week, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Bye, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.